Okay, welcome back to the studio, and today I thought it would be quite fun to have a little look at the frequency characteristics of the SSL Bus Plus. So if we engage the signal there, we can see a slight drop in level. I'm at unity gain, ever so slight, but something to bear in mind. First thing I can show you is the 4K mode. So that's the 4K mode set in its minimum position, and if we press and hold the button, we can increase the amount of harmonics there and disable it. Press and hold to go back to normal. So even at the lowest setting you can see what effect it has on the signal. We also have a low frequency gain pot, and if you press this button it turns it into G series, which gives it a very different shape. There you can see it kind of about 100 Hertz it starts to boost, whereas in the normal mode it sort of starts around 200. So the G series is give it a little bit lower bass. Now let's add some compression. So it's about -3 dB. Now let's add some bass. And the low THD button, you can see straightens out that bass that we've added. And if we're not in G series, you can see it really smooths out that curve. And if we add bass with the 4K mode, you can see that. And what happens if we put the low THD? Doesn't have too much effect, just a slight effect on the bottom end there. Okay, I'll take the compression off and take the bass back down. And we also have bass and high frequency on these knobs. And here if we press the low THD, doesn't really have much effect, so that only seems to have an effect on the LF gain here. If you press and hold this button, we can then use these knobs to choose the frequency, and this side is the amount of range that the low frequency will give you, as positive or negative. And we also have the high frequency, and you can see that's got a shelf on it, so we can put a bell on if we need to. And the same thing with the high frequency, we can press and hold that, and we can then choose the frequency that we want to use, and again we can change the bell shape. Well, I'd call that more a range knob really. And of course you can use that either just as an EQ itself, or let's say we added some top end and we could choose the frequency. Say like we wanted to do some de-essing, we could press and hold, choose the frequency in which we hear the DS, Maybe even turn it into more peaky. And we can then send this EQ to the sidechain. So if we press this button here, so it says DEQ, you can see that any EQ we have has disappeared now from the actual signal, but it's now on the sidechain. And if we add quite a lot of compression, take the ratio up. Now pressing the low THD even does smooth out that bottom end without even the LF gain. So with heavy compression, you can see that's quite wonky, but we can flatten that out with the low THD. Very cool. And let's just take that bass off and increase the attack time. You can see what effect that has on the signal. And the low THD smooths out that bottom end. We can add some 4K. So as you can see, it's quite a lot you can do with this thing. I hope that helped someone demystify the EQ aspect of the Bus Plus. Okay, catch you next time.
When I step in a dance street, knew would be crazy. Lady shaking ass, go baby. Couple drinks, two speech, feel lazy. But still back to a case, I'm like Swayze. Real good with the flows. I make these at all of my shows. And if you think that you know, I'm like, so